Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miss back again for another video today, and welcome back to our Minnesota Wild franchise mode. And in this one, we were going to be simming through what I believe to be season number 3. And yeah, this team is looking very different than past seasons, of course. You can see here, we simulated the first game of the preseason. I did not mean to. I clicked Advanced Day by accident when I meant to click Edit Lines, but speaking of the lines, let's go and take a look at what this team is going to look like this season. So, on our top line, we're going to have Zach Sanford with Nick Bonino and Vladimir Tarasenko. Pretty interesting top line. Excited to see how they do, because Sanford will be playing as an 89, where Bonino will be playing as an 86, and Tarasenko will be playing as a 92. Now, one thing I did think about doing was putting Marco Rossi on that top line. Obviously, you see it's still a +3, but then our second line would be a -2, and I would like to keep our second line the way it is because I think this second line could be very, very good. Of Kevin Fiala with Marco Rossi, who is really getting the chance here. He's getting a hell of a lot of ice time this season. Obviously, having 30 points in his rookie season last year isn't too bad. Hopefully he will get close to double that at least this season. And Brendan Perlini is on his right wing, who was someone we signed in free agency this past season, of course, at a pretty big contract. Again, same thing for Tarasenko, pretty big contract. So those two will be interesting to see how they perform for us. Tarasenko last season put up a pretty good amount, 62, which isn't too bad. Down year for him over the past 3 seasons. Hopefully he can get back up to form while he plays on our team this year. And then Brendan Perlini last season had a career high. And like I mentioned when we were signing him, he's kind of been all over the league. And I'm really hoping we can find him a home here this time around. Obviously playing for what I would imagine to have been a very good Tampa Bay Lightning team this past season. We're obviously not as good as them, but hopefully we can still bring him some happiness and bring him some points. Obviously, 60 points at a +43 last season. And our third line is probably the best third line in the NHL of Jordan Greenway with Joel Eriksson and Ryan Hartman. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I have Eriksson so low on the lineup. He is listed as a third liner, and I know so is Marco Rossi, and so is Nick Bonino, so it doesn't really matter where I play them, but I want Rossi to get the time that he needs to grow, and Kevin Fiala and Brendan Perlini are both listed as second liners, so having those two on the second line makes sense, and that's why I'm putting Marco Rossi with them, because I think Marco Rossi would put way more points up with Kevin Fiala and Brendan Perlini than he would with Ryan Hartman and Jordan Greenway. I think that's just the facts, because you look at sniper Kevin Fiala, obviously a very good shot, and you look at playmaker Marco Rossi, an unbelievable playmaker, plus Brendan Perlini, who's kind of a bit of both. He can shoot, he can pass, and we'll see how they do. And obviously that's a pretty fast line. He's got 2 very fast wingers on his line, where if I had Marco Rossi on that third line, he would be the fastest on that line, which is pretty sad to say. So putting Eriksson on that third line evens out the speed a little bit. And then our fourth line is Connor Dwyer with Mason Shaw and William Eklund, which I'm pretty intrigued to see how this line does. Obviously, Dwyer is still a high top 9 now, actually, so he could still definitely grow a little bit. Where Mason Shaw, I mean, I know he's 24 years old, but he's an 81 overall, and he's still got that medium top 6 potential, which is pretty good. And then William Eklund, maybe a huge draft steal for us. Obviously, picking him up in the third round. Sorry, he's 79 overall at 20 years old, already a medium top 6. So we'll see how he does this season in the NHL. And then defensively, we have Justin Schultz on the top pair. Still very interested to see how he does. Obviously, he's still getting paid a lot of money playing with Matt Dumba, who had almost a career year this past season. Hopefully, he can do a little bit better this season to get a new career high in points. And then Emil Viro is playing on the second pairing with Jared Spurgeon, which, again, you're probably looking at this like, why isn't Brodin playing on the second pair or Kalen Addison? But I already have 2 righties on the top pair. I'd rather not have 2 righties on the second pair as well. That's why I would put Addison up. And, something I was thinking about was putting Brodin and Addison up on that second pairing. But I think Brodin and Addison on the third pair will be pretty good. Obviously, Addison can definitely, hopefully, put up points for us. He's got some wicked stats. We'll see how things go over that way. And then the goaltending this year, Hugo Alnefeld, who just grew an immense amount, way more than I ever anticipated. He's up to an 82 overall, so hopefully he can really grow into a starter for us this season with Nedeljkovic backing him up. And I guess let's go take a look at the special teams. So just a quick look through, you will see Marco Rossi and Kevin Fiala getting a lot of ice time because that is the way I want it to be. I know Kevin Fiala cannot technically grow anymore, but if he has a good enough season, he will. And I've seen him grow to be an 89 overall before, so still kind of hoping he can get to that stage, even though it's kind of getting somewhat late in his career, I guess. He's starting to, he's like in his prime now, so hopefully he can really do something this year. Now, we might as well start simulating. I'm very intrigued to see how this team does. I think this is the best team we've had so far since starting the series, so let's see how true that statement really is. Obviously, we can't really do much worse than we did this past season, so we'll look to definitely improve on that this coming season as we lose badly our first game of the season, although we clap back against Detroit, but still, very poor start to the season. In the first two games against the Avs, we've let up 8 goals, so that's not very good by any means. But like I said, you can't really get much worse than the record we had last season. So hopefully we'll just be able to get some wins here. I would like to try and get back into the playoffs. Obviously, going from an Eastern a Western Conference final to second worst in the league is some Ottawa Senators type shit, and I'd really like to do better this season. So unfortunately, not a great record so far of 5-7-2, although Tarasenko's starting off very well this season, already over a point per game, which is very good to see. Zach Sanford right there behind him, and Nick Bonino not too far either, so that top line's starting very well. Fiala's doing good, surprisingly only with 1 goal. Dumba not doing too bad either so far. A lot of minuses on the team, though. A lot of minuses, wow. Where's Marco Rossi? Only 4 points so far. Definitely hoping that'll get a little bit better. Obviously, his offensive awareness isn't the highest, but it's much higher than his defensive awareness. But, man, if he had like a 89 or higher offensive awareness, he'd be a force to be reckoned with because he's got a great shot and he's got tremendous puck skills. Like, I know I boosted his stats a little bit, but I did not boost them enough to grow like that. Like, that is unreal. So, that's pretty crazy. Kalen Addison only with 1 point so far, and it's a goal. So, a lot of minuses on the team. What is the goaltending looking like so far? I mean, Alnefeld's not doing bad at all, but Nedeljkovic isn't doing that great. So, it just looks like we're giving up a lot of goals. So, hopefully our D-core can maybe tighten up here a little bit. I don't think our forwards are very defensively, unfortunately. Like, we've got a few, but some of them really aren't that defensive or that defensively responsible. So, kind of just something we're going to have to deal with, I guess. I guess we'll see how much it really hurts us this season, as we have a 4-day break at the start of the month here in November. But hopefully we'll be able to get into a better record, get more wins in the win column than L's in the loss column. So, we're getting close to 500, but unfortunately we just keep losing. And that was a big loss to Anaheim, to be fair. But we ended up clapping back against Winnipeg and ended up losing to New Jersey. We're just going back and forth right now, and this time actually a 3-game losing streak would make it 4 games, which really doesn't help our case. 5 games now, and a back-to-back against 2 Western Conference teams. We ended up beating the Blackhawks and getting a point off the Kings, which is good. At least we get a point, but we really need to win some games now because, it gets to a point in the season where it might already be too late to win. And an 8-1 loss to Toronto. Steve Dangle would love that. But, all right, a 3-game win streak. There we go. Hopefully we can continue the win streak here against Arizona. We can. How about Chicago now? We don't, but we do get a point at least, which is nice. We lose to St. Louis, and we lose to Nashville, so that's back-to-back losses. And we're still -3 now. -4 again. Come on, can we beat Nashville here? We cannot. -5. This is bad. This is really bad. In the new year, we are going to be 16, 21, and 5, which is not a great record by any means. We are bottom 2 in our division, and it looks like we're actually towards the bottom, like 5 of the league. So the Kings are horrendous at 24 points, then 27 points from the Canadians, then 31 points from the Stars. That's the bottom 3. Devils bottom 4. Then the Rangers and us are tied. Actually, no, the Rangers. Actually, no, yeah, we'd be 4th because we played so many more games than them. Why have we played so many more games than anyone else in our division? That's weird. But yeah, so we are actually bottom 4 in the league currently, which isn't that great considering I was really hoping with the signings we made this season we'd be able to get some good stats here. I mean, we're getting some decent points. Not looking like a lot of goals are being scored though. Marco Rossi only 17 points. Really isn't as good as I was hoping for it again. Still, this team is just all in the minuses. Like, it's really, really bad. This is really bad. A -30 from Jared Spurgeon. That's trash. -28 from Vero. Our second pair is struggling. Holy. Jesus. And the goaltending has slowed down a bit on both of them. So, really bad. It just looks like we aren't scoring enough goals, and we are just struggling defensively. Like, that's what it looks like right now. I think I should definitely make some line changes here because of that. And I know our top line is doing good, but Benito's really slowed down. Maybe making a change here is a good idea. Not that I want Eriksson Ek, or not that I want our second line to all be -1s, but maybe this is just the best idea to get the lines flowing. Might help things out here a little bit. I need someone that's a little bit faster on that third line, though, and I know DeWare's pretty fast at 89 speed, so at least there's one fast player on that line now. But geez, man, this is really, really bad. Like, I'm just gonna have to try something different here. We're gonna have to try Brodin up on the second pair because Vero and Spurgeon together just has not been good. And I mean, Alderfeld still isn't doing that bad, but Nedeljkovic is really struggling as a backup this year, which sucks because he wasn't doing that bad as a starter last year, so I don't know why he's struggling so much this year. So maybe a few line changes there will help us out. We'll sim to February. We have a pretty slow month here, not that many games, but we've got 2 back-to-backs, which kind of suck, but we win our first game, we win our second game, so good start to the month. We ended up losing to Chicago, but I'm very glad we ended up beating LA just because they're so bad. Unfortunately, we ended up giving them a point. Not that that will matter for their season at all. It just kind of sucks that we're so bad. We give the worst team in the league a point. Only 2 losses. Make it 3 losses so far this month. Make it 4 losses, and now we're even throughout the month as we head into the All-Star break. 9 days off, heading into a back-to-back. That brings us into February, and we win both of them, so we much need a break, clearly. But 9 days, that's a lot of time off the ice. We got 49 points right now, which, oh wow. The Pacific is a very competitive division this year. 6th to 1st place has a differential of 3 points. Eek. I was thinking maybe we could get a wild card spot, but luckily our division is so bad that we just need to get a win. Or not a win, but we need to get some wins. But we just need to get into 3rd place. But our division is so poor, I think that is possible. It's just, how are we gonna manage to do it? That is the question. I don't really know. Just quickly, before we continue simulating, I just want to take a look around. Can't talk today, just to see what's on the block, to see if there's really anything that I think may benefit us. Blake Coleman's a tremendous player. I mean, Blake Coleman could be very good for this team, especially considering he's a very good defensive prowess. Could obviously bring Parise back. Um, Darnell Nurse, that's a very big contract, though. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I am thinking about maybe looking into a better defenseman on this team, because maybe that's something that we could definitely, or that could definitely improve our team. Because, like I said, we really aren't that far out of a playoff position right now. Damn. Dougie Hamilton, very interesting to me. Looks like he's struggling in Dallas, though. Ristolainen. And Ristolainen's a lot more expensive, but Dougie Hamilton would obviously be sick. That's definitely an option. We may come back to that, or maybe on deadline day we will take a look at that. There's actually a few players here that I'm pretty interested in. Chris Kron, that's a big contract. I don't know about that. Adam Henrique, maybe for the 1 year, isn't that bad of an idea. There definitely are some options out here, guys. Cam Fowler as well. Chris Letang. I mean, not that I think he'll ever really leave Pittsburgh, but you never know, I guess. Torrey Krug, Brent Burns, down to an 80 overall. Torrey Krug has a lot of value, though. I don't know if I could pull that one off. Shea Theodore, we could bring him onto this team as well. It's crazy how much he grew in the Moncton universe, but not in this Minnesota universe, I guess. Few interesting players in Vegas, to be fair. Maybe Patrice Bergeron, that defensive of a defense or forward, could really help our team out. So who was the... Yeah, so Blake Coleman in Buffalo, and who was the defenseman? Shit. And Dougie Hamilton from Dallas. So Dallas and Buffalo, maybe keep an eye out for them come deadline day. It really depends on our team. Like, if we can get to a positive record come the deadline, I will for sure make the changes on this team to make us a contending team for the playoffs. It's just, will we be able to get the wins? Because a pretty poor start to the month of February. We go 0-2. We have a lot of games this month. It's just, we need to get the wins. If we get the wins, I will reward the team, and we will get better players. It's just, I don't know. It depends on our team. It really does. It's completely up to them and how badly they want to fight for a Stanley Cup this season, right, guys? Because it's really nothing I can do. I mean, I can always just stack this team, but I find just stacking a team is so boring at times. So 61 points in 63 games we played, which is really, really poor. We're still really not that far out of the playoffs. We need 6 points. I know the Blues have a game in hand, but we just need 6 points, which is only 3 wins. Like, I do feel like maybe going for a player here is a good idea. Zach Sanford, wow, picked it up a lot, up to 59 points, so he has already smashed his highest point total. Marco Rossi has picked it up, so maybe just playing him on that top line would have been the best idea the entire season. Obviously, Tarasenko, well over a point per game, going to hit 40 goals again this season. Fiala with 42 points, which isn't too bad. Should pass what he had last season, which makes me happy. Joel Eriksson only 27, but looking like he will also pass what he had last season. Brendan Perlini really isn't doing that great. See, this was my worry. Like, I was a little worried that he was just on such a good Tampa team that's why he put up so many points. But hopefully he'll be able to prove himself. DeWare, Bonino not doing too bad. Looks like he's actually got a little bit better on the third line. Greenway's not doing too bad. Neither is Mason Shaw. Neither is William Eklund, to be fair. Defensively, 420 from Justin Schultz. 25 points from from Dumba there. 15 from Brodeen, 19 from Spurgeon. Vero, I think the Vero-Addison pairing is actually working out better. I think they're both putting up more points as well. Their stats aren't as bad. Nedeljkovic's stats has gotten up, so has Alnefelt. So, you know, it looks like we might be trending more towards a positive here, guys. So let's go into the deadline, and let's do conservative buyer. Let's do it, guys. Let's see if we can add to this team. It's just... I would love Alex Pietrangelo. That's a pretty expensive contract, but I would love Alex Pietrangelo on this team. Dougie Hamilton is still here. Elias Lindholm is there as well. Dmitry Timashov grew to an 86. That's crazy. See, the one issue I have with getting Dougie Hamilton is we already have 3 right-handed defensemen, and I'm not getting rid of any of our right-handed defensemen. No way, did he just go? Okay, no, he didn't. But Chris Kreider was just traded to Calgary for Darnell Nurse. Let's sort of buy all available players, because there was obviously Blake Coleman as well, who was someone I am intrigued in. Anze Kopitar on the last year of his deal. Malkin as well in the last year of his deal. Ivan Barbashev, Dominik Kubalik. I'm just not accepting that. But it looks like they took Blake Coleman off the block, which sucks. Definitely looks like it. So we're down to 81 overalls, and he was an 84, so... So, a defenseman. A left defenseman would be much more ideal. I just don't think we have the things to get Torrey Krug. Like, he is a very, very good player. Alex Kerfoot and Matt Murray for 2 second-rounders. That's $12 million in cap space, but that's a very interesting trade. Kerfoot is pretty good, not putting up very many points, and obviously Matt Murray is a very good goaltender. Why does... That's just such an unrealistic trade. Like... Ottawa's definitely on pace for a playoff run here this season. I don't know why they're listed as a seller, so I'm not accepting that. I guess we can look at Torrey Krug here, guys, but I don't even know what I could add to this, because I'm not giving up on DeKaiser, obviously. Although he's almost ready to get into the NHL. We might have to trade away a defenseman in all fairness, though. Let's see. Keeping Dumba, keeping Spurgeon, Brodeen maybe. Emil Vero actually has a lot of value, and I mean he is a lefty. Oh, I didn't realize we actually have 4 right-handed defensemen. So yeah, maybe definitely going for a lefty here is probably the better idea. It looks like Pietrangelo's off the block now, but yeah, okay. So let's see. Maybe trading away a defenseman isn't that bad of an idea here. And I'm thinking maybe Justin Schultz. And then we bring in a lefty, obviously. Is DeKaiser a lefty or righty? He is a lefty. Okay, so... I mean, he's a lefty for next season. That's the plan, at least. So, what am I thinking here? So, Dumba, Krug, then... Spurgeon, Brodeen, then Vero and Addison, probably. So let's add Justin Schultz to that, I guess. That can definitely be a piece to our team, or to this trade, sorry, not to our team, but we're going to have to add someone else to this. I'd rather not do Henrique. What about Lindback? He's unsigned, so... And then for a forward, we'll have to add a forward with somewhat decent value. Maybe Alex Kovanov is someone we'd have to look at expanding out here. He's doing very good in the AHL, but kind of just the way the cards look to be going, unless we were to give up on someone like Luhi Vara, who's having a pretty good season in the AHL as well. His stats are all over the place, but I would like to keep him just because his slap shot is insane. I feel like we'd absolutely have to give up a draft pick here as well. I definitely don't want to give up on our first this season. We have so many draft picks this year. Not that I want to give up on our first next year either. But like our first few years down the road, that's obviously a lot of value. But I feel like that's actually pretty realistic. Two players that might make NHLers someday and a defenseman for a defenseman. Oh, I hate when I get a trade offer when I'm trying to work on a trade. So annoying. I don't think there's any world that Torrey Krug or that trade doesn't go through. It's just what does their decor look like after that? So Ghost, Parayko, Falk, Burns, Scandella, and Schultz. So I mean their decor is still pretty good, obviously. Yeah, I mean their decor is still pretty good, that's for sure. So let's add Schultz into this. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh, it's Brent Burns. Okay. Scared there. Who else do we have here added to this? I don't remember his name. Why don't I remember his name? Where is he? It was Kovanov. There we go. Yeah, not that I really want to give up on Kovanov either, but for Torrey Krug, probably not a bad idea. Who was the defenseman? It was Lindback, right? Yeah. And then, again, like I said, I don't want to give up on our first, but I just think that's so unrealistic that we don't give St. Louis a first for Torrey Krug. And it's just, I mean, that's not a bad contract by any means. I just feel like it could handicap us in the future. But, I don't know. Let's do it, guys. I think there's no world where we don't get Torrey Krug from this trade, so let's offer the trade. And they do accept it, so that's a pretty big trade. I wasn't really expecting that. And now St. Louis just wants to get rid of everyone, apparently. Now I am thinking of maybe trying to add a forward as well. Someone that's on a 1-year deal. I'd say Kopitar is honestly very interesting. Bring in that veteran presence to get us to a cup. I just can't see Kopitar in any other jersey than a Kings jersey. I really hope I don't ever see him in another jersey. I mean, Josh Bailey is someone we could bring in as well, but I'm trying to refrain from using the same players in every series. I get same thing for Malkin as Kopitar. I just can't picture him in another jersey. Now Barbashev is pretty interesting, actually. It's just another St. Louis player that we'd be bringing onto this team, and it just seems like we love bringing Nashville and St. Louis players to this team. Is Barbashev good defensively at all? Can't see for whatever reason. I just want to see if he's any good defensively. Not really. I don't really know, guys. I really don't know what to do here. Just because there are really tons of options. It's just what is the right one, you know? We're getting another offer here. No, thank you. Just want picks for picks. I mean, we have a lot of picks this season, obviously, but Mesnikov, are you any good? Again, it really upsets me that I can't check out a player's stats. Like, not their point totals, but their actual player statistics. I don't know. The only person I could really think of adding is Kopitar, but I don't want to do that. So, that will be the end of the deadline, guys. It's very interesting. Obviously, a blockbuster trade in getting Torrey Krug. That obviously removes our first pick from 2 years out. But, Khudobin, are you any good still? I mean, he's a 79, but I'm just not going to accept that. So, let's go and make the line changes, I guess, guys. So now we have Zach Sanford, Vladimir Tarasenko, and obviously Torrey Krug now from from the St. Louis Blues. So Yeah, Torrey Krug currently only at 28 points, but hopefully playing him with Matt Dumba will boost both of them a lot. And obviously, I know Krug isn't the greatest defensive player, but he's wicked offensively, and I think that'll really help our team out. I think he'll help our team out on both ends, let's be real, but if this was real life Torrey Krug, definitely only offensive help, but it's okay, guys. This is the team for the rest of the season. We only need 6 points to catch up to the team that is current, or the two teams that are currently in front of us. So let's sim a couple of weeks ahead of time, and let's see where we're at. Let's get some wins, guys. Come on, I really do think this team can get the wins. Come on, come on. We just got to get over 500, and then we're going to be in a very good position. But we just keep losing. Stop going on L's. Like, stop going on L streaks, please. We're down to worst in our division. Like, I just don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I don't know why we are so bad. Like, damn it. 32, 37, and 5. I was really hoping that the addition of Krug would turn this team around and boost us towards a playoff position, but it has pretty much done the complete opposite. And I mean, I know that's a risk you gotta take, but I really wasn't expecting this. Well, I guess let's sim to the end of the season here. And yeah, unfortunately, that's pretty much going to be the end of it here, guys. I'm a little worried here. I just got a notification on my computer saying my disk is almost full, which means my video could stop at any second now, which I really hope does not happen. Just because, yeah, that's going to hurt my feelings. But that's the end of the season. We still looks like we just ended up losing most of the games anyways. Vladimir Tarasenko couldn't even finish with a point per game, unfortunately. But, yeah, because of that notification on my computer, we will look at everything in the next episode. I'm sorry about that, guys. Jesus, great season from Sanford. But, yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. Again, another disappointing season over here in Minnesota. I guess I just can't make a team in NHL 21 for whatever reason. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.